Most of the myths and legends telling us the story about the mighty heroes and their deeds, how they fight magical creatures and win the wars. But did you ever consider at what cost? History is written by the winners and they are always exaggerating. On the other hand, the stories of defeated ones are lost in time. But those are the real stories, the stories of the reality of living beings, often misfortunate and falsely blamed. And if you would like to get a glimpse into the reality of some of the most fascinating and best known myths and stories of our kind who are bearing the plough of the misfortunate, do yourself a favor, give yourself a treat, read Circe, book written by Madeline Miller. This is a story about Circe, strange daughter of Helios, the god of the sun. She was strange because everybody believed her have no powers like her father and her siblings, until she turned to mortals for companionship and discovered that she does possess power, the power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters and menace the gods themselves. Obviously, threatened gods banished her to a deserted island where she hones her craft and crosses paths with the most famous figures in all of our mythology, including the Minotaur, Daedalus and his doomed son Icarus, the murderous Medea, and of course Odysseus. Circe's story is like a metaphor to our story, to a story of a human beings where we feel ourselves as a god and believe that all of the world belongs to us and everything should be as we pleased. The character of Circe shows us an example of the hard work of the returning to the nature and listening to what it says, that we have to find a way to live in peace. And do not forget that we got our present of life from the Mother Earth. And she take those presents she gave us as soon as we will start believing we are the gods. Personally, me, while reading this book, I could not lose a notion of the story of our day woman. Even if it wasn't intentional, or maybe it was, I don't know, I found the book fascinating mostly by the details of suffering and problems of women, represented in the characters of nymphs and the weaker creatures. It was a huge pleasure to see the fallen curtain and revealed reality that it doesn't matter how many emptiness-driven stories the powerful ones will make. The emotional superstars and the strongest ones are those who can bear the world as it is, with no need to conquer, but make it better and nicer place for everybody. One quotation made by Circe that strikes me the most is, "A humbling woman seems to make a chief pastime of poets, as there could be no story unless we crawl and weep." But do not be fooled by these claims of mine. The book is a great source of knowledge. Most of the Greek mythology is touched in this book. And those are not just lumps of stories, but they are floating swiftly and nicely into one extraordinary world, without any blame or reapproaching, just a reality of the world and true heroes, true colors of it, with no foolishing ignorance or vanity. I made a video about a book called Shattered Horse, written by P.M. Somtov. These two books are on a very similar subject, though written in a such different manner, as a Circe would be a woman's perspective to reality, so delicate, so attentive to details, understanding and merciful. And on the other hand, Shattered Horse is a perspective of a man, a violent and brutal, unforgiving and fatal. With all the power Circe had, she understood that a man would be empty without his pride and stupidity, and that sometimes these are the attributes that draws women to men. And there are some marvels in this story in the face of Odysseus and Daedalus that leaves us hope for the brighter future. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you very soon in a next video.